Fox 35 Late News at 11 starts now.
This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. Get under your desks, guys.
A tornado hits, and not even Fox 35 is safe from the destruction. But the impact is felt well beyond our studio. More video shows the power of this storm. And exclusive video from above puts the situation into perspective, showing the trail of damage. Thanks for meeting me at 11. I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. We're hearing more and more accounts of tornado damage from the Longwood neighborhood that endured an EF2 tornado. We start tonight with Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns. She joins us live. And Kelsey, you spoke with some neighbors who hunkered down.
Yes, that's really the story that a lot of these neighbors told us earlier tonight, Marlisa. If you take a look right behind me here, this is all that is left standing. Really just palm trees here. That house behind it totally just obliterated, if you will, by that confirmed EF2 tornado that came ripping through this area. Now, I was also able to speak with some neighbors here who had to really duck and cover in this situation. Thankfully, with this house, those people made it out unharmed.
Are you guys okay?
These friends holding onto each other tight.
Is this your master bedroom? Oh my God!
Shattered windows and debris blowing right into this home.
How are you protecting yourself from impact?
I protect her, so pretty much. She was protecting my head. Everything just came on me, my back, but I was okay.
Genghis and his wife clung to each other as the tornado passed through. A tree busting their front door open like a battering ram, bringing their front patio furniture inside. You can see the busted door frame.
We were just lucky that nothing happened to us.
All is well. We'll clean up and we'll wait for another day.
So obviously we know these people are okay, but Kelsey, where are they sleeping tonight?
Right, that's a great question, Marlisa. We did speak with those neighbors. They explained, they were worried. They had busted windows, wind running through, not safe to sleep there. So those people that we spoke with, they actually will be staying with family tonight. But there is the Red Cross that is also providing aid to any of those families here in Longwood tonight that need it. For now, reporting live in Seminole County tonight, I'm Kelsey Cairns, Fox 35 News.
Glad they have somewhere safe to stay, Kelsey. Thanks so much. We're hearing more and more about the extremes people had to go through to ride out the storm. Our team coverage continues now with Hannah McKenzie with an exclusive story of survival. Wow, Hannah, thanks so much. Here at Fox 35, cameras around our station captured the action as that tornado just moved through. Get a look here. Try your best through the rain and watch as one of our satellites tips over in the wind right there. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Berggren joins us now. Noah, you spent much of the afternoon looking at that damage. So tell me, what are your takeaways from today?
Yeah, Marlisa, I think the first thing is that tornadoes happen here. If you're a new Floridian and you moved here from the Midwest, I moved here from Kentucky. If you moved here from Ohio, tornadoes happen here. Too many people I heard say, I didn't think tornadoes happen here. They do. They do. Not often this strong, but we get plenty of tornadoes here. We can get this. It has happened before, and it will happen again. Very short-lived tornado. That's my first takeaway. For this intensity, normally the path would be a lot longer. It was only at that intensity briefly about 9:38 in the morning, and then it lifted at about 9:41 in the morning. So the path, 6 minutes, just over 4 miles. At the peak width, it was about 4 football fields wide, and that's where those homes got damaged the worst. Right when it got to Lake Mary and crossed I-4, it was about an EF1 intensity. It was only EF2 about right here. And it touched down just on what you consider the outskirts of Wekiva Springs, about 9:35. So here's my first takeaway in summary short right now. There's no tornado season. That's like saying there's a sunshine season. The sun can shine any month of the year. Tornadoes in Florida have happened, will happen, and do happen any month of the year. Now, we don't live in Kansas City. We don't live in Nashville. We don't live in St. Louis. We don't live in Knoxville. They don't happen every single month, but it's important to know, do your kids have a way to get alerts? Does your business know how to get alerts? Does your school know how to get alerts, tornado alerts? And what are they going to do if you're not there. This is the 17th EF2 or stronger tornado in the month of March in Central Florida since 1900. So 17 of them in 100 years. It has happened. And I cannot stress enough after being out there, and we'll talk about this more in a few minutes, when there is a confirmed tornado heading for you and you see a meteorologist telling you on TV, you got to put as much between you and the outside as possible to give yourself the best chance of not being injured or worse. Thankfully, nobody injured today. Talk to you much more about what happened and looking ahead to the forecast the next few days in a few minutes. Marlisa.
We'll see you then, Noah. In the meantime, people are working to organize efforts to help storm victims tonight. Tarps were available for those who needed a temporary fix for storm damage. People were able to pick up the tarps from St. Stephen Lutheran Church in Longwood. Today's tornado has some people thinking back to the deadly tornadoes of 1998 that just swept all across Central Florida, killing 42 people. Take a look at these photos here. They show some of the wreckage following that tragic night more than 27 years ago. Some Seminole County homeowners, like Russ Sibley, recalled the devastation as their homes were just torn apart. Sibley says his anxiety still rises to this day when severe weather hits Central Florida.
You never forget it. You know, you feel the anxiety, I think, is what you really get when you first hear about a storm. If you were to ask my wife, she would say, yeah, he gets up and starts wandering around looking out the windows. So I don't think you'll ever get over it. You know, it's a life changer.
Hard to imagine that. Sibley says in the days after his neighborhood came together, caring for one another, helping remove trees and clear up roadways, while organizations like the Salvation Army worked to feed families. Well, you can depend on Fox 35 to be on the air every step of the way, bringing you the latest when severe weather's happening, even if we're in it too. You can still watch us on the air or the Fox Local app. Make sure you download it in the App Store. And here's a look now at some of the other headlines around Central Florida. Developing news tonight. The main suspect in the disappearance of an elderly woman from Titusville is now charged with her murder. This man right here, David Barber, is facing 1 count of premeditated murder, 1 count of arson, and 1 count for abuse of a human body. The charges are in connection to 72-year-old Jesse Kirk's highly suspicious disappearance and death. Detectives say the charges stem from evidence collected from her burned car and body. The Kissimmee Police Department has named its next chief. You're looking at him right there. Charles Broadway will take over the department after an investigation into the department by the state attorney's office. Broadway spent the last 12 years as the Claremont police chief. His swearing-in ceremony will be held on April 1st at the Kissimmee City Commission meeting. You know, people are starting to clean up the devastation from this morning's. The scare hit pretty close to home for us here at Fox 35. Plus, a tech twist on immigration, the new app that allows for self-deportation with a chance to return to the country legally. But first, we're checking out night lights tonight. They're from downtown Orlando. Check out this beautiful view. We deserve it after a wild day of weather here in Central Florida. Thanks for hanging with us tonight on the Late News at 11. Don't you go too far. We will be right back.
Nightlights is sponsored by Ocean Bank, taking business further.
You can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately.
This is a confirmed tornado that has hit the station.
It's pushing over the 417 in Sanford. I hope you're in your safe place at this point.
Here in Lake Mary, you can see a lot of the damage.
Scary situation here. This truck completely turned over.
It is like hurricane conditions.
It was a very busy weather morning across Central Florida, including right here at the Fox 35 studios. Fox 35 News was on the air live the moment this morning's tornado hit our station. Take a look.
That could be it, guys. Bring that camera up full. Okay, this is a live view from our TV station of what may be, at the very least, it's torrential rain crossing I-4 right now. We could be looking at a tornado on camera. Look at those trees blowing around. Okay, bring the camera up, guys, if you can. Zoom out. Can you zoom out? This is a look at the live camera of a tornado, which could be passing by our station right now. Okay, there's debris. We've got debris on. Okay, take shelter. Everybody in the Fox 35 building, get to your safe space under your desk if you're not in a designated area. We're catching debris right now on the roof. Debris is on the roof right now. We're hearing, you can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. Get under your desks, guys. Anchors under the desks. Everybody get on the desks. We're still in the debris zone. Everybody get in. Everybody get in the studio. Come on in, guys. Okay, we got power flickering out. That's a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado. National Weather Service, if you're listening, this is a confirmed tornado. Right over the Lake Mary studios. This is heading into Lake Mary and Sanford right now. This is a very serious situation. This is a real live tornado. It just hit our station. I've been doing this for a very long time. That's the first time a tornado has hit me while I'm doing the weather. Thank goodness for our facilities here at Fox 35 to keep us on the air and keep you apprised of the situation.
The roof, it was trying to get torn off by that tornado. You can see it kind of lifted up there. This limb got torn off. It did some pretty good damage to this side of the car, a pretty good dent, ripped the handle right off, and you can see the shattered window there. We're out here broadcasting the weather many mornings. Our camera completely broken, the grill, probably some damage to that. And then, I mean, look at all the tree limbs down around here. We have a little roofing here that shelters the lights, the camera, the monitor. The monitor is now over here. That's our TV monitor that we're looking at when we're broadcasting the weather to you out here from the weather deck. So a lot of damage, and you can see how the steel, this beam here, I imagine maybe was holding up lights at one point in time. This is completely bent. I mean, this is bolted into the concrete here.
Still hard to imagine. That was just a matter of hours ago. As you've seen by now, the Fox 35 storm team saw this tornado coming as the storm approached I-4 near Lake Mary. John Brown caught up with senior meteorologist Brooks Garner earlier this afternoon to get an idea of what it was like and what he was looking at to be able to see what was about to happen.
I'm out here on the weather deck with Brooks Garner after the day we had. So, Brooks, I want you to walk us through what happened here because I-4 is right there to our west. So on radar, you saw the tornado coming through that neighborhood. Take us through that moment as you're seeing it on radar and then seeing it play out on our cameras and in real life.
We knew it was just seconds away from hitting us at the station, so we turned the cameras and immediately saw a wall of white and swirling coming toward us. And as soon as it got here, we saw debris. And we knew at that moment, this isn't a possibility of a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado, and it's about to hit. And at that point, I told people to take cover. Nobody really had an idea of how real it was, because oftentimes we talk about tornadoes as a possibility, a potential, but do they actually happen? And in this case, it was, and that's when we took action, and it really took us by surprise.
Obviously much worse on that side of I-4, but we've got all the debris here. You can see our weather deck is torn apart. So in all your years of forecast, I know you've done some storm chasing, but for a tornado to come right at you, that has to be kind of a surreal situation.
The statistical chance of a tornado hitting your TV station is infinitesimally low, much less hitting while you're on the air covering tornadoes and having it come right as you're showing the camera of it arriving. I mean, it's just unthinkable. I'm just glad everybody's okay, and I'm glad that, and this was the tough part, to be honest, to keep the calm during this adrenaline surging event, to impart information in a way that's understandable and doesn't sound panicked, because we didn't know what our future was at that point.
With everybody in the building. That's the other thing people don't realize is it's not just the team that's behind the camera, in front of the camera. We had a whole team here today, and of course everybody on this side made it out just fine. So Brooks, great job walking us through that this morning. Appreciate you coming out tonight.
My pleasure, my honor to be there for the big event.
Yeah.
Meteorologist Noah Berggren's back with us now. Noah, this was a wild day of weather. You know, it's not often that Seminole County sees a tornado like this. National Weather Service spoke to the rarity of it earlier today.
I mean, they have happened, just the frequency rate is very low.
Right,
You know,
and it being EF2.
True.
Yeah.
Now, Groundhog Day 2007, we had several EF3s. So, you know, we've had worse than even today, but certainly this is not a very frequent occurrence at all. Here's the velocity data from earlier. Remember when you see the bright red and the bright green next to each other, that's the wind indicating that circulation, Wekiva Springs to Fox 35, which our station is right along I-4. There's the touchdown. 9:34 this morning, and it ended at about 9:41. So town by town, road by road, Bay Tree Lane. There was the tornado touching down, moved across pretty rural areas here early in its path, and then unfortunately strengthened as it neared more neighborhoods here. Alvarado Court, Missy Bourne Place, Sandy Oaks Place, and then this was the area where it really hit very hard. Off of Blue Iris Place, this is where all of the homes were damaged right here. And you can see it was a pretty wide tornado at that point. The red is as accurate and as close as I can get it to realistically how it was. Then after that, it started to weaken. The debris fanned out. At Fox 35, we took winds. Our station, the camera that you've seen a lot was looking basically at the tornado coming from the southwest to the northeast. Remember, tornadoes rotate like this, so the wind would have hit those cameras coming in from that way across I-4, and then it lifted just after it crossed the interstate in Lake Mary. So 9:35 to 9:41 this morning, just over a 4-mile path at its peak in EF2, 400 yards wide. A reminder that there's no tornado season. Tornadoes can happen and have happened any month of the year here. It's the 17th EF2 or stronger tornado ever in the month of March in Central Florida on record. And I can't stress this enough, having been there today. When and if, gosh forbid, you, your kids, your family, your business, your coworkers are in the path of a confirmed tornado, and you're hearing a meteorologist say that, you got to get to your innermost room, because many of these people today, if they were not in their innermost room, they probably would be severely injured or worse. We had 9 tornado warnings that were issued today across the Florida Peninsula. There's the zoom in of the warnings that were over Central Florida. Now, there were not other tornadoes today. This was the only one. The first warning came out at 8:33 this morning, and the last warning was at 10:46 a.m. A couple of things quickly about this tornado. Probably the strongest in Seminole and Orange County since 1998, which was the record-setting historic outbreak. Here's all of the EF2 tornadoes all time, and notice there's been plenty. Not very frequent, but there's been plenty of EF2 or stronger tornadoes across Central Florida. And for some more context on that and some historical details, I want to bring in my colleague, meteorologist Laurel Blanchard. Laurel, tornadoes happen, not normally this intensity, but tell us more about how we rate them.
Yeah, of course. So us here in Central Florida, we all know too well how hurricanes are rated, and it goes on a category scale, mainly focusing in on the wind speed. So depending on how strong those sustained winds are, that's how it really gets the category when we're talking about hurricanes. Now, tornadoes, it's a little bit different, and it gets a little bit dark, especially because how tornadoes are rated is based on the damage that it produces. So in EF0, we get minor roof damage, small branches here and there, or an EF5, which can cause some catastrophic damage. In the tornado that we saw today, we saw some pretty significant damage as an EF2 tornado. Roofs came off. Trees were taken down, as we just see right outside our back door, about 15 feet away from me. So here is some of the damage that we have seen. This is drone footage from our station, and we can see these roofs are almost completely ripped off, completely shredded on this one for sure, and the lanai is completely shredded as well. We can see some of these homes are absolutely a mess, and we can see that damage and some of that debris basically carried and lifted for miles, and we can see that in this one right here. This damage from this fence over here, we still see that damage in the very far corner of the screen, at least a couple blocks away. So as we do actually put a little bit of a miles per hour associated with that damage, we saw 120 mile per hour winds expected with this tornado today, which puts this once again at an EF2, and we saw that damage, especially once we were taking our live reporters out there. Some of the homes definitely got damaged, but once again, we are very lucky in this event that we got that information out there, told you where this tornado was happening, and we are happy to report that there are no injuries.
Good news there, Laurel. Thanks so much. Self-deportation. There's now an app for that, but you guessed it, there's a catch that could tempt some people to sign up. We'll explain when we come back.
Fox 35 News is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
All new tonight, illegal immigrants who want to get in line to be in the country legally can now use a new app from the Trump administration. Fox 35's Bill Malusian shows us how it works. A driver's daring dodge. New video shows a heart-stopping moment right in the middle of traffic.
Fox 35 News is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Caught on camera, a close call for a driver on a bridge in, oh my goodness, in New York City. Did you see that? He was driving along last Wednesday when a board flew off of a truck in the other lane and shattered his windshield. Fortunately, no one was hurt. He was able to safely pull over. My goodness. All right, Noah, we want to get over to you for one last look at the weather. Thankfully, the day is ending on a calmer note than how it started.
Yeah, calm, Marlisa. Beautiful the next few days. Temps get back to the 80s. Really warm this weekend. You know, if there's something to say in closing about today, it's that Florida does get tornadoes. This is a huge misconception about people that move to Florida, that they think they're avoiding tornadoes. They happen. In fact, every year, just not normally EF2. We normally get EF0s and EF1s. And in closing, Marlisa, it's amazing that nobody was seriously injured today.
Yeah, thankfully. Thanks so much for meeting us tonight at 11. Hope you have a great night. Be safe out there.